Welcome, Michael. It's really great to have you here. You're our Meet the Coach at the moment. You've answered some questions. You're up on the website, and we're really excited to have a conversation with you today to learn more about you, the work that you are doing, and the impact that you're having on the planet. Before we get too far, my name's Dr. Steve Jeffs. I'm the director of coaching for the Coaching Tools Company, and of course, with us is Erwin de Graaf, the CEO. Michael, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Um, Thank you. Thank you for the honor, and I'm happy to be here. So yeah, I see the profile on the front page, and I'm really honored to be featured here.
Mm,
Yeah, thank
it's
you.
our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Mm.
So,
So,
Michael, go
Yeah.
ahead. So, Michael, why don't you introduce a little bit to everyone who you are, what you do as coaching, so that everybody can learn a little bit from
Mm.
where you are and what you do?
Okay. Of course, my name is Michael Kaun. I'm from Singapore, and I work mainly as a resilience and mental toughness coach. Of course, before resilience and mental toughness, the foundation is mental well-being. I will actually start there before going on to resilience and mental toughness. I'm also a certified Enneagram coach. I use that as a quick tool to get to know my clients. I have coaches in the past 1.5 years. I've accumulated about 89 coaches to date. Some of them are now meeting on a monthly basis instead of the initial fortnightly basis. I love youth, young people. I work with young people from 13 years old to all the way to 25. So they come from very different organization, even from organization where it's supported by the Singapore government. So things like Mentoring SG is a government sponsored thing. And even we also have a government affiliated company called National Youth Council. So these are the organizations I work with. I think I also work with a lot of schools and corporate companies that really have quite a lot of young people that are like millennials and Gen Z that is trying to build a bridge with the middle management. So trying to bridge the generation gap so that they can work better as well. So that's where I work, and I love my job. I love to learn. So I'm constantly upgrading myself. I'm eyeing for a few more courses, but I try not to be too greedy and bite off more than I can chew. Yeah. So that's in brief.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic. And
Mm.
what what's your background before you came to coaching?
Oh, great. It's interesting. I start with I being a youth counselor after I graduate. Um, and however, youth counseling at that time, which is in the early 90s, the salary wasn't very good. I'm a disabled person with disability, so I move around with wheelchair, and I have complication in the neurological and urological place. So being a counselor, I can make much money. So from there, I actually go into corporate banking. But unfortunately, I met a ceiling because I want to be a private banker at that time. But the bank won't put a disabled person in front of a high net worth client.
Mm.
So I felt quite discriminated at that time. Um, so I decided to be an entrepreneur. So before being a coach, I'm a partner in a language service company that grew very fast, that have branches in Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, and Hong Kong. But that is not my initial passion. So I sold that business in 2017 and made one big detour to back to my passion, which is youth. And instead of counseling, where we deal with it is problem oriented, past oriented and problem centered. I don't like that. I now like the person centered and the future oriented in coaching. So that's much more positive. I don't want to deal with problems in a way. Yeah. So that's what I did before I come into coaching.
Wow,
And
what a journey. What
and how, so you went from entrepreneur into coaching. How do you got connected with coaching? How did you really make that move to coaching?
I think the first move is trying to know myself first, what I want. So I started with being a trained as an Enneagram coach. And once I know that is what I want to do and is what even my Enneagram tells me is suitable for to do. I mean, I also did my MBTI, Clifton Strength, all these things just to find out what do I really want. So once I'm sure, I went for the ICF training. So right now I have completed my 100-hour, pushing to 500 so that I can get my PCC. Right now I'm in ACC. So that's what I got into this coaching and I'm loving it. I'm loving every moment that I get to meet my coachee, my clients, and I'm happy to see them grow as well.
what excites you the most about coaching as a profession?
I think it excites me to see that I am part of their tool to really achieve the goal that they want. So I'm a facilitator. I'm not a person that force them to do anything, but help them to get to where they want. I coach a lot of young people, and sometimes young people they have a lot of inspiration, aspiration, but they don't know how to start. And I also have young people that don't know where they want to go, what they want to do. So that exploration journey excites me a lot. I see them break through mindset, change their mindset, mental barriers. And once I see that, I love it. Really, really love it. Yeah, that's what excites me a lot.
So I had a question when you started. I'm working with youth and certainly 13 from 13 upwards. So because normally, as I understand, a coach or a youngster under 18, do they need permission of a parent to do coaching with you, or they can straight because
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. This coachee come to me in two different manner. One is through our youth organization that I mentioned. So the youth would sign up with the schools for certain mentoring program. And another thing is parents engage me for their children. So that is the two ways the kids come to me. Um, and yeah, coaching is not something I purely do because they are young. So the method or the methodology is more towards mentor coaching. Yeah. So that's part of mentoring and coaching that at certain point we do switch. Um, and a lot of times the youth come from youth organizations or schools. They are voluntary signing up, so we really participate a lot. Whereby those that come from parents, sometimes it's hard to break the barrier because oh, my mom sent me, I don't want to be here. So the ice breaking, the rapport, it needs a little bit of effort, but once that is broken, yeah, it's wonderful that they
What
are open to grow.
I love it. What are your tips or advice to other coaches to help break that ice? Because it's not just teens that come to coaching not wanting to do it. I've seen the same in leadership programs with executives. Um, how can we break the
Yeah.
ice with clients?
Employees being sent by their companies is also the same. Oh, my boss sent me. I don't want to be here. I have that as well. I think it's a lot to do with building the rapport. So even when I'll go into a corporate, I usually want to encourage them to organize a company event that may be outdoor or having a dinner together if it's a small company. If it's a bigger one, then they engage me sometime for company retreats. Getting them to know who I am and that I'm their partner. I'm no threat to them. What they are going to say to me is strictly confidential, and that rapport needs effort. I think it also is very much part of personality as well. I see my associate coach, whereby their personality is more introverted. It's harder for them to build that rapport. So rather that I'm more of the loud one and the straightforward, go for it guy. So maybe I have a thicker skin. Yeah.
Well, based on your experience that you described before and your passion for resilience and mental toughness, I'd be guessing you have a pretty thick skin. And I love what you pointed to about different personalities, different styles, and as coaches, we have to find our own way
Yeah.
to create the safety for us to show up, and
Mm,
as a coach to create that relational safe space for our clients to show up beyond fear, beyond judgment, beyond worry, and just get to be human in relationship with us as we're working together with them.
yeah. So the contracting session is really very important. Where we build, even though we have a contract with the company, I make sure I go through that contract with the coachee as well. So that is more of administrative, but yet at the same time, it is a very good tool to give the coachee a safe space.
You do the
Yeah.
same with some minors. Do you do the same that kind of contracting with a 14-year-old? Is that the
Uh,
same process or is it a little bit different?
it is a bit different with I don't go through the contract that is black and white. Yeah, but I go through with them what's gonna happen, what we can do, what we cannot do, what we won't say,
Mm,
but what we will say if in certain condition like the ICF ethics, like if they are putting danger to themselves or to others, that's where we open our mouth. So with the young, the contracting is more informal.
yeah.
Mm.
What I love about where you're pointing is it can be the same tool around contracting. You just bring it to life differently so that it best meets the needs of the relationship that you're creating with your clients.
Yes, yes. So flexibility is a must, but yeah, at the same time, the message must also be conveyed, which is really important in the contracting. Without the contracting, sometimes expectation may go awry during the whole session. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Have you had an example where it did go awry and didn't quite work very well, and things emerged that
Mm,
you almost wish didn't, but you learned from?
yeah. There are some organizations that send what we call youth at risk. These youth at risk people, they are underachievers, rebellious, and in these cases that we receive, usually we will work with a counselor because we are not counseling, but we do work together. Um, the situation that got array is basically they try to push the limits. Your patience, I just push anything that can push all the wrong button, and you just have to keep it all together and not blow up at them. Yeah.
And if you work together with a council, just to understand, because other coaches could have that question as well, who takes the lead? Is it you or is it the council who leads those conversations?
Um, it depends on the issue that we are dealing with. I have a few ADHD case and I have to work not only with counselor. I mean, I'm not working with the counselor anymore, but more towards the psychologist that's doing the therapy or whatever not. From there, I take instruction from the psychologist to help push them towards the objectives they want. But when it comes to issue that requires much more attention, even digging to the past, we hand the ball back to the psychology.
Okay. Mm.
Fascinating.
Mm.
What is it about resilience and mental toughness that makes you want to build your business and actual life around helping people connect to that?
Okay. I think that that's a question that a lot of my coaches ask me. So what's the difference between mental toughness and resilience? And they are like really there's only a line of difference between them. Resilience is more towards the ability to bounce back or even to go through hardship and not break. So that's resilience. But mental toughness is being able to be in the optimal performance state in whatever they are doing. They may not going through hardship, but let's say they are going to do a presentation in front of thousands of people. Then that's where we help in mental toughness. And there are most of the time I see them see it happening towards athletes, sports people. They require a lot of mental toughness to perform. So mental toughness is towards performance at any time. Resilience is more of even going through and bouncing back and persevere in trouble and hardship. And that's the difference. And I like it through these two things is very much a holistic development. And foundation of this two is basically mental well-being as well. So usually in my coaching, if there is a structure, it start with the enneagram and strength personality. Enneagram and strength, get to know them, and then from there we will just help them first in the mental well-being, and then also what they want to do, and from there there is also structured workshop if we can put that in. Yeah, so I love doing that and putting all together.
I love it. Just for completeness, you defined resilience, you defined mental toughness. How do you define mental well-being?
Well, mental well-being is basically a mindset, having a growth mindset, the ability to be able to think for yourself, and just more to, okay, I'm gonna have a bit of problems defining that, but I think mental well-being is the ability towards keeping all together, being able to perform, and being able to be able to deal with relationship, to be able to work normally even, so that, okay, in short, it's about daily function. If there is anything that is stopping you from functioning normally in any part of your life, and that means there's something wrong with your mental well-being. Yeah, so that's where we focus on.
Yeah, I kind of put you on the spot there, but what I hear you speaking to, and I'm very much aligned to this, is mental well-being is a foundation for, as you said, resilience and mental toughness. One thing that I know is that if everything's going wrong, it's a tiny little thing that tips us over. If everything's pretty much solid, we've got way more tolerance of things that go unexpectedly, and
Yes.
that foundation of balance, of presence, of togetherness, whatever that means for the individual,
Yeah.
gives the resource to adapt and adjust.
I
So,
mean, yes, in a structured manner, we use the PERMA model, PERMA plus. We also focus on like gratitude, relationship, positive mindset, growth mindset, and all these things put together to help them in their mental well-being.
Love it. And so you're referencing the work of positive psychology, Martin Seligman,
Yes.
and all of those things with PERMA as well.
mm.
Love it.
Yeah.
So Michael, so if other coaches are having some clients that they need to work upon resilience or mental toughness, what would be some recommendations that you can share with them, that some ideas, some concepts that they could use in a case when, even if they're not a resilience or a mental toughness coach, that they can use? What would you recommend to them?
Mm, I think that for resilience is about really knowing what is the end goal that you're going for, and what is the coachy end goal, or maybe in the Marvel term, what is the end game that they're looking at. And if the end game is hopelessness, powerlessness, and things like that, resilience does not happen. But if they at the end game have hope, have passion, enthusiasm, whatever you're going through is just only a process. So for helping people really in the resilience, I focus on helping them to see the end game. And I think is a lot of my personal experience as a person with disability. I have gone through a lot, like 30 over surgeries, even discrimination at work, relationship issue, a lot of near-death experience. But I keep going. It's because I want to see the end game that I have. So I see things as a process. Um, so the coachee have to really see the end game. And basically, if you really help them see the end game that they want, not what we want, they want. And then I think whatever crap they're gonna do, they're gonna just push on. Yeah.
And for
Yes.
mental toughness?
Mental toughness is basically helping them to be able to keep focus, concentration, composure. Uh, there's quite a lot of basically being able to, I think the focus is on composure first. We've talked about mental regulation and emotional regulation. Mental toughness is what you think. Mental regulation is what you think. That are you controlling your thoughts, or are you letting it run wild? And emotional regulations, are you be able to keep it together? And then with these two, whatever you're doing, you can keep up to the optimal performance. So concentration, composure, all these things work together. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mm.
Fascinating. You mentioned, your experience with, disabilities and the journey that you've been on. How has your life experience informed how you show up as a coach?
How am I life experience with mm. Then, you know, a lot of time, even the parents of my coachee and the people, the organization that engage me, sometimes they'll start with, Michael, we see you as an inspiration. We see that you are really very determined. We hope that you can just infect our staff. Oh, gee, I think that doesn't happen that way. But I think my experience is focus on being authentic and showing up authentic, being me. There's no facade, there's no bullshit, and saying that, hey, this is me. And I hope this me can help you on the way. So when we show up as coaches, we don't go it on a holier than thou attitude. I know more than you. I'm gonna use all my tools and crap it on your head. No. So authenticity is what I will use to show up for my clients. Mm.
I really love that, and I can
I
see.
hope that answer your question.
I love the answer.
Mm.
Authenticity is important to me, and I can see that sounds like a value of yours as you've been through your journey, discovering, trying things, not fitting, stretching, looking at money, looking at this, and actually, I want to follow my passion and my heart because
Mm.
there's something authentic in me that wants to come out, and there's a place that I can add that value in the world. Um,
Yes.
that's really cool. Hey, with a background, as banking, entrepreneur, international, how has your entrepreneurial experience helped you, not just as a coach, but actually build a business around your coaching?
Mm. I think it's my failure that helps me the most. Um, for business, the two lessons that I learned is that if you to simplify the whole business, it's always people and cash flow. So basically, knowing people, managing people, leading people. Once we get that right, yeah, and managing the cash flow properly, the business definitely can succeed. I have a lot of good mentors as well, and I keep the one of the three S and use that as a business model, which is system, sustain, scale. Everything, if you put it in this system, the result will be sustainable. You don't have Rambo that can do very well and people that don't. It's basically how McDonald's and Starbucks do it. They have a system. How you fry the burger, fry the French fry, the burger, and things like that. So sustainability happens, and once that happens, scalability is possible as well. Yeah. So that's in short. My failure also teach me a lot. I made wrong choices with people, and also the wrong choices with money. But they really taught me a lot of things.
I love it. And from this experience, you just articulated a model, but what's one tip or piece of advice for a coach that may be an accidental entrepreneur? They get into coaching to coach, and now they've got to build a business. What's a tip or a piece of advice that you'd give to them?
Um, don't have any pride. Have
Hmm.
no pride. You can be proud of your work, but when we are before other people, don't let pride get in the way. I met with coaches, they're really good coaches, but somehow they don't have the sales and marketing experience. So it's hard for them to get any client. And these coaches, uh, they are humble enough to say, okay, I do not have this thing that I need in my business. Then they are willing to work with other coaches. So you have imagine a proud coach saying, nope, I'm gonna do everything my own. I'm not gonna work with any people. It's me, myself, and I. I think that kind of coach will not succeed.
And not
Yeah.
only a coach, also in business. I had that experience as well. Try everything on
Yeah.
my own and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Going a little
mm,
bit connecting with back to the coaching tools company, you told us before that you use tools. You mentioned as well that you've been using some tools from the coaching tools company. What are certain tools? What was your experience with the tools? How has those tools helped you in your coaching?
mm. It gives a structure. Instead of like going everywhere, if we can plan out something it also the coaching tool help them to focus on what we are talking about. If it is goal setting or changing of the mindset, the tools help us to keep us on track or focus on what we are doing. Without the tools, there's no structure. We can run all over the place. Yeah. So tools are important, and yeah, we use that to keep the focus of the session. And it is also good to give them assignment that we can follow up. And that is where the tools can help them to develop the accountability to themselves or to whoever else they decide. So having that tool also define an accountability that they need. Yeah.
Great.
So yeah.
So I've got a million more questions, but I'm also mindful of time.
Yeah.
If people want to, if they're watching this and they have further questions for you, what's the best way that people can reach you?
Find me on LinkedIn. I'm very visible in LinkedIn. If you find Michael Kaun and you see the picture of a wheelchair, yeah, I think most likely that is me.
I
Yeah.
love it. I also love the QR code, which I'm hoping is going to work, that people can use to find you there as
Yeah,
well.
I hope to. Yeah.
Exactly.
I would love to meet up with people and to explore any opportunity. I am not fussy or proud to say that I'm too good for these opportunities. No, I'm always willing to talk. Yeah, welcome to anybody if I can really schedule it in. Yeah.
I love it.
Mm,
I know it fits with your authenticity and your passion, from what I can hear. Michael,
yeah.
thank you very much for your time today. This has been
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
insightful and entertaining, and we really appreciate hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very
Thank you.
much. This was really exciting.
Thank you. It's been an honor, and I really hope the coaching two company do well, and let me know how I can really contribute in a small way as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you,
Brilliant.
Steve. Thank you, Erwin.